All right, praise God. We are in chapter 8 of Matthew. There was way more I could have said about chapter 7. Chapter 7, you could talk for like 3 days on that. We had some really good uh, thoughts about a lot of that, but, well, maybe not. I don't know, depending on what side you are and the argument, I guess. But the main note from Dr. Ruckman was on verse 23 there, back in chapter 27. Or, I'm sorry, on chapter 7, verse 23. Then will I profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. See, if you start out doing, working, prophesying, casting out, the action, your action is before you surrender to the Lord Jesus. You believe him. See, you gotta start at the foundation. The foundation is Jesus Christ. You start there with him. You believe him. You accept what he did for you as enough to warrant your salvation. And then from there, you might begin to do the action, to do the works. How can you do the works before you believe it? You know, there's a problem there, theologically speaking. Anyway, we talked about that last time. So we're moving on to chapter 8. Chapter 8 has a lot in it, a lot of notes. So let's just start reading. Chapter 8 of Matthew, verse 1. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus saith unto him, See thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. And when Jesus was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word, and healed all that were sick, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Himself took our infirmities, and bare our sicknesses. Now when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came, and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Jesus saith unto him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Jesus said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him, and behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him, and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us but before the time? And there was a good way off from them an herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea, and perished in the waters. And they that kept them fled, and went their ways into the city, and told everything, and what was befallen to the possessed of the devils. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they besought him that he would depart out of their coasts. There's a lot of good notes on verse 9 there. Behold, that, because you get a demon, a devil out of somebody, but it hurts their pig business. It's always more important, the business stuff, than somebody getting saved. It's always more important, the business, the money, the mammon, somebody getting saved, somebody getting healed. No, we can't have that. Okay. The first note is on verse 3. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. In a sense, Christ violates the law by touching the leper. See Leviticus 13:45 through 46. Yet the priest could touch the leper by means of shed blood, Leviticus 14:14. The reason Christ could touch the leper and not be unclean was because he came to bear the Jews' infirmities and sicknesses, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses, as well as their griefs, sorrows, transgressions, iniquities, and chastisement. Isaiah 53:4 through 5. In his messianic role as high priest, Hebrews 3:1, 6:20, he could supply and apply the remedy for leprosy and sin, Hebrews 4:15, 1 Peter 2:21 through 24. All right. Oh, that one's pretty self-explanatory, right? Thank God. All right. Next note is on verse 9. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me, and I say to this man, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. The centurion believed that the spirits would obey God, exactly as his own servants and the soldiers under his command would obey him as their master and commanding officer. I was thinking that as I read this. I was thinking, what if I have all these angels under my command, but I'm such a weak baby Christian that I don't make use of what God has already given me, I know I'm not beating myself up. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm being honest with you. I'm not a baby Christian, but different things I'm dealing with, like my thinking is wrong, and I'm focused on the wrong things rather than on what Christ has already done. And because I focus on these wrong thoughts and temptations and different people you're interested in, and circumstances, life situations that are relevant, and small things that they're irrelevant. They're things that don't really matter, but you're so concerned about them because Satan attacks you. But if you let all that go and you focus back on the kingdom, back there in 33 of chapter 6, if you were focused on that, maybe there are angels under your command right now that you could be sending out to accomplish different objectives. That's because of your weak prayer life, that not as much is being accomplished that could be accomplished. You know what I mean? Just a thought as I read that. Okay, next verse is on verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, here's the note. The verse has nothing to do with any spiritual kingdom that shows up on earth after Pentecost. In this kingdom, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the Old Testament prophets are present. See Luke 13:28. That won't take place until there is a resurrection. The verse is a reference to the physical, visible, millennial kingdom of the Messiah as found in Psalm 2, 6-12, and Isaiah 2, 2-5, 66, 10-13. It is typified in the Old Testament by the Queen of Sheba coming to hear Solomon. See note on 1 Kings 4:21. Do you think we've already had the millennium? So my brother was saying that somebody was telling him that history is broken, and what they've told us as is history is not history, and the millennium has already occurred, and Satan is unleashed right now, I guess, and we've already had the 1,000-year reign with Christ ruling. Wouldn't there be TV cameras all over the place? What's going on here? Doesn't make sense, in my opinion. I think there is going to be a 1,000-year reign, and Satan's going to get locked up, and thank God. It's probably going to be more amazing than anything I can imagine. And of course, as he says here, that won't take place until there is a resurrection. So you had Christ's resurrection, but here we are 2,000 years later. Will there be a rapture and a resurrection? Is that what he's talking about? I don't know. But there will be a millennium. There will be a 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ, where he's going to show us how to actually run this world and do it correctly, not with like penny-pinching corporate monsters, you know, the people that ruin everything for everybody. Okay. Next note is on verse 14. And when Jesus was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. If the Roman Catholic Church was founded on Simon Peter, and if the Pope is supposed to be the successor to Simon Peter, then both are violating everything Peter was and stood for. Peter was married and had a mother-in-law. There is no such thing as clerical celibacy. required for any elder or bishop in the New Testament. See 1 Timothy 3, verse 2. See pages 191 through 192 of The Church of the Catacombs by Charles Maitland, 1847. Huh. Oh, right. You could just sit here and talk about that for the next 10 hours. You wonder why everything is so screwed up? There it is right there. Clerical celibacy. See, Peter was married and had a mother-in-law. You wonder why I have so many problems. Need to get married. But that's what they do. They take that oath of celibacy, and then you have all these lawsuits today. Those started happening around the time that I was in Catholic school, so I don't think I was ever molested, but I don't know. That's scary stuff there. And it doesn't make sense. It's something pagan that they put upon them, and it's not right. They should have wives. This is ridiculous. Stop this. Come on. All right, 15. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them. This is one of the verses from which the charismatics get their foolishness about a point of contact. See also Acts 19:12. They overlook verse 8 in the same chapter where Christ didn't need any point of contact. A friend of mine in Jacksonville, Florida, used to say, if you want a point of contact, dip your hand in a bucket of water and put it in the back of the radio or television set, and you will really get a point of contact. It's a little horrible, but whatever. I think we'll start with that. We'll take a break here and we'll continue. We'll finish this chapter. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.